701. That is the staggering number of minutes the Spanish national team has gone in World Cup football without conceding a single goal. Just think about that for a second. 701 minutes of absolutely flawless execution, zero defensive lapses, and a backline that has basically transformed into a brick wall. So we've got this 2026 quarterfinal clash at SoFi Stadium, and it presents the ultimate tactical friction. On one side, you have Spain's impenetrable defensive possession. Matched up directly against them, Belgium's high-risk, vertical, totally aggressive offense. It's a classic clash of philosophies going head-to-head with a trip to the semifinals on the line. When you look at the cold, hard metrics, the contrast is just wild. Spain has built an absolute fortress, right? They're sitting on an unprecedented 5 consecutive clean sheets, allowing just 1 goal this entire tournament, all while hoarding the ball with over 64% average possession. Belgium, meanwhile, is relying entirely on outgunning their own defensive flaws. Sure, they've got volume and pace, but they've allowed 3 goals and are staring down a massive 4.12 expected goals against. It is pure defensive control versus offensive chaos. The tactical masterstroke, shielding the backline. Now, here's what most fans completely missed in the build-up to this match. The real genius wasn't some flashy attacking sequence or a dramatic goal. It was Luis de la Fuente's decision to drop star playmaker Pedri to the bench. He opted to bring in Fabian Ruiz in a purely tactical move, basically creating this highly physical double pivot alongside Rodri right in the center of the park. This one calculated pivot completely alters the geometry of the pitch. It shifts Spain's midfield focus away from that intricate final third passing and heavily towards absolute defensive containment. This setup perfectly shields center backs Pau Cubarsí and Aymeric Laporte, neutralizes those lethal Belgian counterattacks, and brutally exploits a Belgian midfield severely weakened by the loss of Amadou Onana to an ACL injury. Without Onana there to screen, Belgium is incredibly vulnerable down the middle. And the execution has been staggering. Belgium relies heavily on high turnovers to generate offense. They usually bag nearly a whole goal per match just from pressing alone. But catching Spain's midfield? It's nearly impossible. Across the tournament, their press-resistant anchors, primarily Rodri and Pedri, have been successfully tackled just 11 times, despite over 1,000 combined touches on the ball. Even with Pedri resting for the specific matchup to create that physical double pivot, the same press-resistant DNA is there. You simply can't press, which you can't catch. This right here is exactly how Spain weaponizes the ball through what we call safe possession sequences. It's a deliberate, tactical approach designed to bleed the clock and wear down the opponent through perimeter-focused passing, all while keeping defensive risk to an absolute minimum. By doing this, Spain deliberately pins Belgium deep into a conservative low block, starving dangerous wingers like Jeremy Doku of the ball, completely shutting down fast breaks, and honestly, taking the stadium crowd entirely out of the game. The lesson, defense dictates the tournament. So what is the big takeaway from all of this? If you take one thing from this matchup, let it be this fundamental coaching reality. Listen closely. In tournament football, you cannot outrun a flawed defense forever. Belgium had a fantastic run utilizing their vertical volume and attacking flair, but an aggressive offense simply cannot cover up a massive 4.21 expected goals against when you're facing a ruthless, controlling counterpress. Eventually, those structural flaws catch up to you. Structure, discipline, and defensive rigor, that is what dictates knockout football. Spain hasn't lost to Belgium in their last 11 meetings across all competitions. Their 701-minute defensive wall proves without a shadow of a doubt that methodical, tactical rigor is the true blueprint for lifting the World Cup trophy. The big question now is, will Spain's historic, impenetrable streak actually reach 36 matches? I want to know what you think of their tactics, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and join us next time for another explainer, where we'll be breaking down the one player who quietly dominated the entire weekend.